Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike with Fowler Family Farm. So we're gonna finish up on the chicken tractor on this video. We're gonna complete the build enough that the chickens will be safe inside there. No predators will get them. It'll be finished. What won't be finished are little accessories like a feeder, a waterer, the nesting box. I have done some stuff off camera, but it's stuff that's pretty self-explanatory, and then I'm also going to show you some of it on the rest of the build. But let me take you over there and show you what I've done. Okay, as you can see, when we left off, this was just regular wood up here on top, regular color, so that has been painted. I think we left off in the last video doing this, but not this. So all this top layer here has been added. That's fence pickets, plus, you know, this is painted, you know, like I was saying. I did paint this one. I have not painted this one yet because it's gonna be the last thing I paint. I added these right here, this one here. So as you see, I have added the mesh. This is a 1/2 inch hardware cloth. It's been added. I have cut all my little pieces here. Have not painted them yet, but these will all have to be painted. But this will go here. You see how this is all open? I don't want the chickens to get up against this and cut themselves, so this will be painted in here, and I've cut all those pieces, as you can see. So they'll all have to be painted. Again, this will be the last piece I paint. And it's because I have to take the wheel off to paint this. But I have done all these. I have cut them all this side too. So that'll get painted. Again, that piece there that's not painted, I have to take the wheel off to get, you know, to accurately paint that. Hardware cloth on top, on this half and this half. Actually, that's like a third and a third. And then I've built the door. I have not put the hardware cloth on it yet. And I've added this little piece here just to keep the door, this keeps the door from falling through because it's not, you know, the hinges aren't on it yet. So that's what this piece is on here for. This is just a temporary piece that'll come off. But you can see I've built the door. It's just a square. I'll line this up perfectly. Here, just let me take it off. You can kind of see what it's like. This is upside down now, so you can see it's just, I actually added a piece here because I didn't want to cut new pieces. These were just barely short. So I added these pieces here and here to give me the space I needed. I did put some bracing in the corners. And like I was saying, these little fence pickets on here just to hold it level. See how the door is level with the rest of the tractor here? So that's what these are for, just to hold it on there so I can screw in the hinges and see if it opens okay before I put the hardware cloth on it. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and put one more piece right here just to help secure this. We'll line this door up kind of where we want it. You know, the same spacing throughout the whole thing. I'm not gonna use the screws that came with the hinges. I wanna use my own screws. A little bit better, a little bit stronger probably. And I may have to move this hinge. I'm just gonna try this spot here on both sides. We'll just see what it does. I may have built this a little too tight. It looks too tight over here, but I don't know. So obviously I cannot open the door with these on because it just won't open. Obviously it's blocking it. But I did want to add a block here so when the door hits, it stops. It doesn't just continue to fall. And I'm actually going to add some on the corners as well. But we will add that real quick. Well, look at there, it stayed right in place. That's good. So it is a little tight. It's a little crooked probably. I probably can scoot it that way. As a matter of fact, I probably will. So I'm gonna add corner pieces so that the corners of these stop as well. They don't go any further. Because I envision eventually some predator's gonna get on top of here and push on the gate and push on all this. And I'll talk about these here, these little screws, here in a minute. That was a good idea I came up with. Okay, y'all, it is properly installed now. Hinges are on. It opens really smooth. No problem at all. That noise you hear is obviously just hitting that. I did add some corner pieces here and here. And that's so, you know, if something gets up here and pushes on this, like my body weight will hold this door, well, up against here. That's why I am gonna add a piece here. So if something gets up here and stands on the mesh, because this will all be mesh, the same hardware cloth, I don't want it to just cave in, obviously. If a raccoon gets up there or something, bobcat, who knows. But I will have to paint this again. I think there's, actually I did good with these other 3 pieces. But anyway, you can see, I did want to talk about these screws. These are panhead screws. And I found some in my tool cabinet. Yes, I know it's messy. Don't judge me. But these are working perfect. I love these things. I didn't do them over here originally. I tried it over here and it worked out great. I was able to get this side tighter than I was able to get this side because I was able to pull this hardware cloth, and you can see these screws are in the corners and it just allows me to pull. Now these pieces I did bring back up and the hardware cloth is stapled back here, plus it's screwed down and it's snug and it's secure with the fence pickets here. Same with on this side. You can see I removed these pickets. The hardware cloth goes past. I mean, it covers an entire piece of wood over here, this white piece here. And then it's stapled in, of course, and then the fence pickets help secure it as well. And then I used the panhead screws here, all throughout here. You can see them up there. So I can assure you, they're not getting in through this hardware cloth. They're not gonna tear out this hardware cloth. And the thing I like about this 1/2-inch hardware cloth, a big snake can't get through here. Small snakes obviously can, little baby snakes, but I'm not worried about them. They're not gonna be able to harm my chickens. And they won't be able to steal my eggs. That's the main thing. The big snakes, they don't harm your chickens really either. They come in and steal your eggs. They will try to swallow your small chickens or your baby chicks, but. So next up is hardware cloth here, and then design this area. This is gonna have an automatic door on it. Pretty simple hardware cloth from this corner all the way over. It will be broke up obviously by a door that's here. So it'll be hardware cloth above the door and beside the door basically. Oh, I do need a latch here. I will need a latch right here, and I think I have one. So all I'm doing here is I measured out the opening of that door, and it's 19 by 22. So I'm cutting the 19, since this is 24, I'm obviously cutting the 19 this direction, and I'll cut the 22 out of the 24 section. And this is easy, y'all. This is if you have these type of shears that have angles, like I have a green, red, and a yellow. Yellow's straight, and then red and green are opposite directions for cutting. But it makes quick work of these. Oh, and I use a piece of wood just to weight. This is a 25-foot roll, and I'll bring it over top here. Use a piece of wood to weight it down. Really simple. Okay, so I'm ready to staple this on here and use some of these panhead screws as well. I did remove the hinges from this side, and remember the door's supported by those supports underneath in both corners here and in the front. So I want to wrap, so this is actually like 21 inches, but I want to wrap about a 1/2 inch on both ends over here. But over here it's an exact fit. So I plan on doing something just about like that. And that looks good, I think. Yep, so now I'm just gonna actually let's put some staples in it. Okay, y'all, this portion of the build is complete, other than painting this wood. And I didn't staple here or screw it. I did screw it into the wood, but I didn't screw the hardware cloth into this piece of wood because I want to take this back off and paint it when I paint all these pieces here. But you can see, well, you know what? Let me go, I think I do have a latch. Let me just see if I have one. Okay, I did find the bolt latch here. And again, I'm gonna use my own screws. All right, I'm gonna put my own hole in here. I already did the other side. You just gotta be careful not to go all the way through. Okay, so I thought I had a handle, but I do not. So I made me one real quick. This will just be temporary until I buy one. And I want this to be right at the edge of this, basically there. I am gonna buy just a hoop handle, but I don't have one. Okay, there we go. Pretty simple. So I actually went to Tractor Supply today and I thought of that handle and then I got sidetracked with everything else I was doing and I didn't pick one up. I knew I had the latch. I just didn't think I had a handle, so I was gonna pick one up. This little temporary piece of wood, even though it's split, it's not bad. It's not split bad. It'll work for the next 3 or 4 days until I go buy that handle. All right, so now I'm going to go take the automatic door that I'm gonna put here. It's actually on the barn. I'm gonna go take it off, get all my measurements and build this out and then show you what I've built. Okay, so I grabbed the run chicken door. I can't just put it, like I can't put a piece of wood here and put it here because when this door raises, I don't wanna take a chance of it just hitting this and not coming up, you know what I mean? And that would be half of it, so I'm gonna have to pop it out just enough that this will always clear this up here. So I will probably put my normal 2x2 here and then one this direction on each side to help support the mesh. But then on this 2x2, I will probably pop it out with a fence picket, the same width. I'll just, because that fence picket's about 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit wider than thicker than 1/2 inch. And that'll be plenty of space to pop it out. Okay, so here is, I mean, this is just a little H and the door obviously goes here. That little piece there is just to wedge these two pieces apart at the right distance as this, so that when I screw these two ends in, these two bottom pieces in, they won't shift this way, if you know what I mean. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I told you I was gonna put my fence pickets on here the same width as the 2x4s, and that's obviously so it can pop out so the door can come up. That's what I was explaining earlier. Now you kind of get the idea here. So we are going to attach the door real quick and make sure it works. So I can already tell I'm probably gonna have to add a piece here. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did there. So I think I will add a piece real quick right now. Just another fence picket right here so that nothing can come up under it and get in. So this is y'all can't see the door, but it's opening. I don't think you can see it. It's light sensitive. It's not, doesn't work off of a timer. So it opens at sunlight and closes at dark. I actually want to use my chick cozy door because it opens this way. I wouldn't have this issue that I'm having here. So, down the road, hopefully, I can get me another chick cozy door and open it this way. If this works fine, I'll just leave it the way it is, but we'll see. I am going to add this piece real quick. I am pre-drilling these. As you can see, I got it clamped, and I think it's level. We'll see. All right. Okay, y'all, that worked out really well. Obviously, this little gap here is gonna have the hardware cloth on this side. But if you look, there is a little gap right here that I don't like. So I'm gonna have to figure something out here. Probably should have just made this a little bigger. Okay, y'all, it's been a few days since I last worked on this chicken tractor, but I have completed the front end of it here, just with a few little things I still need to do, and I'll talk to you about that and show you what I'm gonna do. Probably won't put it on video, but it'll be done when you see the end product. So if you'll remember, I had to paint these pieces. So I did paint all those, and they are installed. Let me get you in here where you can see a little better. So they're all installed and they're painted. So that's good. And then I also added the wire mesh in the front here. I don't think I'm gonna need any additional support here. I am going to put a 2x2 right here. I'm gonna have to paint it, cut it and paint it, because this didn't work out the way I wanted to. I wanted to sandwich this mesh in between these two pieces. So I started taking out some of these screws, and it started, as you can see, messing up my wood. And there were so many screws, I probably took out 12 and still had another 12 to do. And I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna pull it up, put it flush on the bottom here, and then put a 2x2 here to screw in and staple into from the back side. So that'll keep that secure. That's still mesh there. This is obviously, I had to take the door off to install this mesh because I needed a way to reach in here. Plus I had to use this open door here. I will come back eventually and staple all this. Right now it's just been screwed in with those panhead screws. And the reason I didn't staple is because my son took my air compressor out of the shop and is using it in the house to do some windowsills. So that's fine. Probably what I'll do is leave it over there, wheel this to the garage, and put some staples in it. So before I move on, I do want to show you what I was talking about. So here's the piece of wood I cut. It's smaller than a 2x2, but it'll work. This is secured in with screws. Now remember, I'm gonna paint this. I'm gonna take it back off and paint it. But now I'll be able to come in here and screw in to here, and this mesh will be secured from the bottom side now too. It'll get, several staples and screws. Okay, so I've got the roof or the door ready to go. This is what I'm gonna be screwing into with the metal. Not the greatest, but it's okay, it's good enough. Let me show you the metal. So I thought I had some 3-foot pieces left, but I do not. These are all scraps that have been cut on. So I'm gonna make these two pieces work. I'll cut 27 inches out of this twice, then 27 inches out of this once, and this will just kind of be in the middle of the two. Okay, so I've got 3 pieces here. You should be able to see them. 1 piece, and then 2 right here. That's a small piece. Then here's the 3rd piece. And it looks like it's gonna fit pretty much perfect the way it's setting. I'm gonna take it off real quick and clean it before I put it on there permanently. Okay, so I'm not sure who I cleaned this metal for, but it's way cleaner for you. And I know one of y'all left me a comment saying, I liked your chicken tractor build up until you put dirty metal on it. And your OCD got the best of you and you had to click off the video. Because I've had those comments before. So you're welcome, I cleaned it for you. But now I'm gonna have to clean the trim. I've decided I think I wanna put trim on it. Obviously I did not bring the right size of trim. I just kind of picked up some to see if I could get it to work. I was just gonna leave it exposed like this and just file it down. But actually I think I'm gonna go find some longer trim. I think I do have longer trim pieces. And I'm not gonna, like this is just a scrap piece. You can see that they cut it at an angle. I'm not gonna mess with angles on this chicken tractor. I'm just gonna cut a square piece, just cut it off square. I'm not gonna worry about these angles necessarily. I got Tanya out here to help me.
You did?
I'm just kidding, she's not here to help. She's just here for company. So I did find one full-size piece here for trim. It still has the plastic on it. And all this extra stuff that y'all see here is obviously because my house is made out of it. and my shop's made out of it. So I have a lot of scrap. I just don't have a whole lot of full-size pieces to work with, except for that trim piece. So this is what I'm thinking. This is upside down. It'll actually go like this. Okay, I want to show y'all what I've done here. And before y'all judge me, I am not a metal person at all. I think this is wrong right here, but it was my only option that I could see, because the other piece on the other side was the exact, I mean, this piece matched this piece, so I didn't have any other way to match it. But I think it's supposed to look like this, which this one turned out great. I just didn't have another end, because this end and this end are the same. So anyway, I'm not a metal expert, but I think this is gonna work out perfectly fine. Obviously water's gonna hit here and drain down because this is at an angle. So over time I may drill some holes at the bottom of these. I don't know, it may just drain on its own, not really sure. I'll probably drill holes here just to let the water drain out. But I do like this now that I've done it, because there's not really any sharp edges where I'm gonna be touching. Like, none of this is sharp. Well, y'all, I think it is complete. Give you a quick walk around. I will mention a few things that I think if I was to do it over again, I would change for sure. And the first is all the wood planks. I'd probably just go ahead and use some of the sheet metal like this, or some of the hard plastic sheets that look just like the metal. And the reason I say that is like this right here, the day I put this together was a warm day, and now it's cool, and you can see there's a gap there now. Not that that's critical, because I didn't really design that area to be protected by rain. This is gonna be, they're gonna be out in the open in that area anyway. Now I do think, like you can see here, obviously the gap's bigger than when I first started because it was a warmer day. The wood shrunk up a little bit, but I still think it's fine on the sides. I think that wood plank is fine. The fence pickets, I think it's still gonna keep the water out, but it definitely will not keep the water out here. Like you can see a gap here, a gap here. But I'm okay with that, like I was saying. Everything turned out really well for the most part. I still have not stapled this front piece. It's just screwed in, which is fine for now. I'll probably wheel it over to the house later tonight and staple some of that in. I did add the piece like I was talking about here. It's painted and added, and it's screwed in. I mean, that's snug. Nothing's gonna be able to get in there. I do believe this is predator proof. Another thing I'm gonna have to change is this bar. I don't like moving it around with that string and bar. I'm gonna have to add something that's permanent, and it's, you know, something stiff, because that just wobbles like this when I walk, and it just makes it hard to move. Actually, it doesn't make it hard to move, it just makes it more difficult than it should be. Let me set the tripod up and I'll show you the door, since that's what we just finished. I don't even think I have to put a handle on here. I will put something on here to latch it so that it can't be lifted on its own or lifted with some wind. It's heavy. I doubt wind is going to be able to pick this up unless it's like plus 60 plus mile an hour winds. But this right here allows me to grip and pull up, so that's fine. For now, like I was saying, I will just use a stick to hold this up while I'm inside here working. But this turned out great. I like the door a lot. I don't even think I'm gonna put it on hinges. I think just the way it sets is fine. If I have latches holding it in place, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. No animal is strong enough to pick this up. I mean, it's heavy. Like I was saying earlier, the only thing I don't like about moving it is the bar and the rope system. I don't think it's a great system. I'll have to come up with something better. But look at that, y'all. Very easily tilts. Okay, and this is what I don't like about it. See how it's just kind of wobbly, but it moves easy. This is moving really, really easy. I think my 5-year-old granddaughter can move this. And it's heavy. And this is a heavy chicken tractor. It's not light. But overall, y'all, I'm really impressed with this. It will work perfectly fine just the way it sets. But of course, y'all know me. I will add some accessories to this. One that I'm already gonna add is I wanna be able to just open something up right here and add food, and they'll be able to eat. So something like a PVC pipe system, food system. Now remember, y'all, I'm only gonna have 3 chickens in here, so not a whole lot. So this doesn't need to be real big. I think it's plenty big enough for 3. I could probably realistically hold 10 in here really comfortably, and maybe up to 16 if all they're doing is sleeping and getting out every day. Staying out during the day, sleeping at night. I could probably hold 16 in here pretty easily. But overall, y'all, I think it worked out pretty well. I will load the chickens in it tonight when they are asleep. When they are roosting, I will go grab them and put them in here, and they'll stay in here for a week. As a matter of fact, that will be the next video. So I don't know if I'll video tonight me picking them up and bringing them in here, but my next video will be them inside of here and kind of how they are reacting to it for the first day or 2. So y'all make sure you come back and check out all the accessory videos. Like I said, there will be some videos for that. And if you just now found this video and you want to see how I built most of this, at the end of this video, you'll see a link on the screen. That is my playlist for this entire build. I think it's 6 or 7 parts. I'm not for sure, but you'll see all of them. They'll all be in one playlist. So you can just click that playlist and it'll show you all the videos that it took to build this. I'm happy with it though. I think it turned out really good. All right, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Leave me a comment, and remember, do the good.